How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Nomad Exiles. Now, this is a launch that has already happened, right? We've already seen the launch of the token, but what we're gonna do in this video, we're gonna look at the project and we're gonna do a price prediction. So we're gonna see if this token can rise from the ashes and make you the profits that you need. So we're gonna look at the whole thing. So first, we're going to dissect the website and the white paper and everything like that to give you guys the complete overview of what it is and any updates about the game and the team that you might have missed. And after that, we're gonna go to the price prediction. So use the timestamps below if you want to skip to certain parts of the video. And without further ado, sit tight and relax. Let's get into this. Alright everybody, thank you so much for joining me again today. Hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, morning, or whatever it might be. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out a lot. Working towards the 700 subscribers, so please help the channel out. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, so perform your own due diligence. Alright, let's get into this. So, Nomad Exiles. We're going to start with what it actually is. Now, looking at the trailer and on how they sell the project, it is a play to earn crypto game, kind of like Path of Exile, where you follow your character kind of from, I think this is fourth person or third person, not first person, that's what I know. So you'll be able to go on quests, you can kill enemies, you can get loot, build your own base, stuff like that. Now looking at the graphics, we can see that it is at least slightly better than the average crypto game. I'm not saying it's a AAA title, but the graphics look above average for play to earn games, which is a good thing. Now, overall, we don't get a lot of content. We don't get a lot of footage, but that's also because it's in very early development and we don't have a concrete, fully released game yet. In fact, we're not even close. So that is why the price can still do so many different things. It can go very high up, it can go very high down. That's why you're here. So this is how the game basically looks. Now, over on the website, you can see that you already can buy NFTs and you can buy the Pride token, which is the token of Nomad Exiles. Now, you can do this on Gate.io or you can do it on PancakeSwap. Now, moving down on the website, we can see a bunch of classes. We see Rogue, Warrior, and Mage. You can buy them for X amount of tokens, in this case 2,750, which is not that expensive at all. I mean, the token is going for 1 cent. So these are relatively cheap things to buy. You can also buy lands and dungeons and hero mystery boxes, and you can see much more on the marketplace, which is actually what we're going into right now. We're just going to dissect the website article for article to really understand what this is. Now, again, if you're only here for the price prediction and you really know everything already, then use the timestamps. But I really do urge you to watch this all if you haven't got all the information yet on Nomad Exiles. So here we have the marketplace. Now, as you can see, you can buy a bunch of cards and heroes from level 1 to level whatever, and you can buy them for this price. So for instance, 4,000. So you can actually buy what you need or to progress in the game over here on the marketplace for the token. Now you can see here the rarity. For instance, you can click on rare and then it will scan for items. Has 0 items on this rarity. It does have a bunch for epic. Let's go, for instance, to artifact. See what about that? Nothing for artifact. And nothing for mythical. All right, so everything that they have right now is for epic. Okay, that's fine. And then you also have the different classes, and they only have for mage right now. So, okay, there's not a lot in the marketplace yet. We just have this wizard over and over and over again. So marketplace isn't looking very spectacular just yet. But then again, right, the game isn't there yet. We're still waiting for a lot of developments. So this is things that are going to be coming soon. That's very important for the price prediction to keep in mind, right? It's not here yet. So keep that in mind as we move forward. It's where it's going to be in the future. All right, we got that? Awesome. Now let's move back over to the website. As you can see, all these things with the hero mystery boxes, the lands and whatever, it's not here yet. I mean, yes, we do have the boxes over here. So the boxes are here, but the heroes, right? If we went over here, they told us we had a warrior, we had a rogue and all of that. It's not there yet. Now we do also have lands. You have the human land box and the artifact land, but like I said, it's all coming soon. So it's not actually there yet. They say Nomad Exiles lands are unique in-game spaces where the owner of the land can place buildings, right? So you do have to actually buy that plot of land in order to start building your base. And that land isn't there yet because the game isn't there yet, right? You can also get rare land, epic land, or legendary land. This will give you, for instance, third grade land. You can place, craft, trade, or PvP buildings. So yeah, I suppose that will just make your land bigger, as it says over here. So bigger land. Okay, right. Pretty straightforward. You can just buy in-game things or heroes with the tokens. Great, a way to make money while playing the game. Whether you're solo in the game or with a team, you can earn awesome rewards for in-game actions. Train your hero so that no one can defeat him in deadly battles. Yada yada, right? Early birds can catch the NFT. So here you can already buy some NFTs like we saw. Okay, so that is overall the project. So now we're not going to look at the roadmap yet, because the roadmap is going to lead me directly into the price prediction. So I'm first going to be looking at the white paper before I'm going to move into the roadmap and then the price prediction. So we're almost there. We still have some more information to collect before we can make an informed price prediction and actually look at the token with a full understanding of what this project is. So obviously here in the white paper, they have a short introduction with some designs and the trailer. Their introduction in short is not having enough money for entertaining hard work takes up most of your time, and only a shabby bar on the outskirt looms large on the horizon where you get wasted on shots of tequila, whiskey, vodka, sake, whatever, for $1 each, so that you can go to work again in the next morning with a head-splitting hangover. Sounds familiar, huh? So this is a pretty interesting introduction. They keep it very casual, right? It's not professional at all. They try to resonate with what they think is their target audience. If their target audience does go to bars to drink tequila, I'm not sure, but okay. They've probably done their market research, right? Or you get tired of the mundanity, I don't know that word, and dull existence, so no resorts in the world can satisfy your desire for people to get you sick for all their problems and this whining. Okay, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this description at all. This is already 2 entire lines of just basically assuming what my life is like, which is not the case. I don't drink tequila, thank you very much. So I get what they're trying to do. I don't really agree with how they put it down in the white paper. Not really how I would do it. And that's it, right over here. Right here, they say, anyways, you're in the right place. So we only have this as our short introduction to the game, right? They don't talk about the game there. Okay. Then the project features. Nomad Exiles is a unique game at a crossroads of the RPG genre and turn-based tactical gameplay. All right, so yes, we do see the turn-based, but on the other hand, right, the turn-based, we saw that over here, for instance, right? This is the game that they're showing in terms of turn-based, but at the same time, we're also seeing this to be the game. So I'm a bit conflicted, right? We have the base building, we have this, and then at the same time, we also have this. So I'm not really sure what they all have. Maybe they have both game modes. Maybe they only have the one or the other. It's a bit tricky. I think I'm just going to go ahead and assume that they have both, but that's what I'm trying to read up on the white paper, right? So the game lore, I don't care. The core mechanics, life organism that is constantly evolving and transforming based on your decisions. Okay. At the beginning of the game, you will lead a squad of heroes, each of whom has their own combat capabilities. Right, so you will be in like the strategical, it will be the game. Okay, good to know. Core mechanics, and we don't see anything on the other form of gameplay that we've seen. And then they move over to the marketplace. Maybe it's in the PvP arena. No, I don't see it. So I think that this is weird, right? You can quote me on it. You can say like, hey, no, it's explained here. But on first glance, they contradict the viewer, right? They contradict it by showing this gameplay first, and then all over the white paper and all over the website showing this gameplay. Now, both would have been fine. Both look appealing and nice, but as a new viewer to the game, it's not clear to me what they actually are. So If you're both, that's fine, but then really put down, right? We have 2 game modes, or we have 2 ways of playing, right? You have this part, you have this part, and then you have the base building. But we don't get that explanation. So if there are 2 game modes, it's way too vague. If they're not 2 game modes, then they're just simply contradicting. So that is what I'm seeing here. Again, if you guys have a different opinion, or you have actually got the chance to play some of the game and you have more answers, then please feel free to let me know. I'm not the all-knowing almighty. But yeah, let's get into the price prediction, because we don't actually need to know a lot about the mechanics to look at this token and have a clear understanding of what's going to happen. Now, the first thing I want to actually show you guys, looking at the price prediction, is what they've done in the past. So they started at Q4 2021, and they say that they're still working on Q2 2022, which at the time of recording is already past. We're in Q3. So they launched the game web demo in Q4, the launch start of marketing and public awareness, and then the website plus the socials. Then in Q1, the private round and the public round have been done. Now, here is where it gets interesting, and this is what I'm excited for, right? So we see here, this is the TGE, right? The private round and the public round happened in Q1, right? And that's when these rounds were being done. So what we're seeing is when these rounds were being done, what was there for the game? Right here, nothing was created. Here we see the smart contract audit, marketplace development starts, and the P2E game balance development starts. So there was no game yet, which is very common, right? To do a raise when there's no game yet, to be able to pay for the developers and the team. So it's very normal, but keep it in mind. So the raises were done. There was no game yet. There was no marketplace. There was no nothing, no utility as of yet. Okay. So what we're seeing then, right, after the TGE, during the TGE, whatever, we're seeing this massive drop-off. Why does that happen? Well, because there's nothing yet, right? You buy the tokens, TGE happens, there's nothing. You know what I mean? So this is in the 4th. So that is indeed the 2nd quarter of 2022, right? So token releases, there's nothing, people drop their tokens. It makes sense. And as a bit of a comparison, I brought with me another chart, and you can see this same thing happening over here at the Magic Craft, right? If we move over to the big graph, we can see, right? See this big drop off at TGE, right? The big hype, everyone gets the tokens, right? It's a bit different, right? Because here TGE is over here, and then it spikes up. So it's a bit different, of course, than what Nomad Exiles did. They had a better TGE over at Magic Craft, right? But the same thing theoretically happens, because this TGE price was reached without any utility yet. There wasn't a game yet when this all-time high was reached. After that, because of that, from their all-time high, they dropped down and they basically flatlined for a very long while. And you can kind of see the same happening here at Nomad Exiles, apart from the fact that they didn't make good profits at their TGE. No, instead, they just immediately crumbled. But there is a reason for it, right? Because they did the raise before there was a game. Okay, so now we're seeing this flatline. And with a lot of GameFi projects, what we're seeing after this flatline is another surge, as you can see here at Magic Craft. Right, they stayed here with the flatline for a very long time, months in fact, and then they pumped up again. Why is that? Well, if you look at the roadmap of Magic Craft, you can see that around this time, the game starts to release. New hype comes out, game gets released, new trailers come out, so everyone gets excited again for the token, and the token utility gets introduced. So the token starts pumping. Now this, for Magic Craft, is likely only to be the beginning, but it's already above TGE price. And after this, it will likely go much, much higher. So I take that into consideration when looking at Nomad Exiles, that we don't really have that core utility as of yet. So there's a lot of things that can still happen, and there is a good reason why the TGE kind of flopped. And it did flop, right? Keep that in mind, because it was a complete flop. At the all-time high, it reached 2.3x, which is decent, but after that, it did a 0.1x ROI. And if we go to annual launchpad, really, Seedify, for instance, only a 10% at TGE. So 10% did a 2.3x, and 90% did a 0.1x. So massive losses were created, even though there was a 139% gain at the all-time high. That's completely irrelevant. So a really terrible TGE release, but there is still hope for the token, right? We can see this going up in time looking at the roadmap, right? Because over here, Q2, we did see the open alpha, right? Which is part of the game release, but alpha is nothing more than an elaborate demo, right? There's nothing really there at an alpha. So it doesn't create that same hype. Now the beta, well, that will be a bit more interesting, but the release, right? The full game release, that's when it gets really interesting, right? So we are seeing so much stuff coming up compared to the former roadmap milestones, right? We're seeing the beta, the NFT integrated into the game, the tokenomics integrated into the game, the mobile game client, narrative, main story, and dialogue system, player-based static mode, level armor and ability progress, NPC and non-NFT units, battle locations for 5 biomes, farm dungeons, boss battles, in-game dex listing. And in Q4, apart from the full game release, there will be a lot more stuff. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. So it would be nearly impossible for the price to just stay exactly where it is right now. The true hype of this project is still yet to come, even though the TGE was months ago, right? TGE was months ago, but the actual token utility, the actual game is still yet to come. And looking at another GameFi project, we saw here this pump coming over time, right? When the utility arrives. Can Nomad Exiles do the same? Of course, it's speculation. Of course, we don't know for sure. But the infrastructure is there, right? That the game looks okay. The community seems to be interested and excited. So yeah, why not? Why not? And again, you always need to grab it with a bit of salt, right? You can never be 100% sure. But a lot of people have claimed Nomad Exiles is a defeat and completely worthless just because it had a bad TGE, especially with GameFi. That is not necessarily the case. So what is now very important is to look at the infrastructure, right? How strong is this project and how high is the chances that when the release is hit that we're actually going to see this project take off? Now, what I think personally, again, looking at the Magic Graph, we can see the price going from 001 to 01, right? So that is a roughly 10x, right? So big gains were made over there. Do I think Nomad Exiles can do the same? And I have to admit, yes, I think so, right? We're seeing them at the same price as Magic Graph was, 01, right? Sorry, that's not true. Magic Graph was at 001. So they're at the price now where Magic Graph is right now. All right, so can it increase from here? I think it's inevitable, personally. So what price would we see realistically if the token was to take off because of TGE? Well, as we can see here, 100x coming soon. That's what some people say. I don't think we're going to see 100x, right? Some people say $3 to $5. I have a hard time believing that it will go that far, but it is possible. I think it's definitely going to reach the 10 cents if the release is good, right? That is something that is just, we've seen that time and time again with GameFi projects. If they have a good release, the hype is there, the game works, the utility is there, then we've seen it time and time again. It's possible. It's all going to depend on how good the game actually is. Now, looking at the market cap and all that, we can see that the market cap is very, very small, 82K. And that is definitely one of the smallest market caps I've ever seen before. So there's untapped potential. Not to mention that the price of the current token is so incredibly low right now. So you can get 200, 300, 400 tokens for a very cheap price. But because of the low market cap and because the utility of the token is still yet to come, there is such a high chance that the price could increase or will increase. And even if it just does a 3x, right, you're able to get these tokens for so cheap, you can just get a couple hundred. And if those couple hundred do a 3, 4x, you make a lot of money. So I would almost see it as like low risk, high return kind of situation. The releases are yet to come. So right now, of course, it's speculation, do your own research. But in my opinion, it could be a good moment to enter, right? Get those tokens, get those NFTs, wait for the big hype, wait for the big releases. And when they happen, great moment to sell. And as for the actual price prediction, how much money do I actually think can be made from this? Well, again, I'm going to put it on 10 cents. It should be possible. It should be possible. And again, as you can see, I'm not as bullish as these people are over here, right? They're saying multiple dollars. It's possible. Looking at the market cap, looking at the price it is right now, and looking at the potential of the game and the team, yeah, sure, it's possible. I just don't think it's going to happen, but it could, right? So 10 cents, I think that would be a good middle ground. And 20 cents, 30 cents, something along those ranges sounds like something doable. But what I think for sure is that it's going to go above that TGE. So if you're still holding those tokens from the raises, then don't sell them now, right? There is a very, very good chance that this token is going to go at least back to TGE level or higher. So selling them now would be a bit of a waste. I don't see a rug pull or anything like that coming, so I don't think the token would go to zero, right? Again, I'm not sure, it's just speculation, but it doesn't seem realistic to me. So might as well hold the tokens, sell later. That TGE price should be achievable. All right, now to back this up, right, let's take a quick look at the socials and the team. Now, before you're like, okay, hey, you already did your price prediction, why the hell should I care? Well, again, if you're investing in a project, you really are just investing in a team. So if you don't know who the team is, you really shouldn't invest. So we just did the price prediction. I just told you guys that it might be a good entry. So we should back that up by actually looking at who's behind this in the first place. So looking at the team, they're fully doxed, which is really good, right? That's a green flag, in my opinion. So we have their full name, we have their profile picture, we have their LinkedIn. Actually, I have one of their LinkedIns right here, right now. This is Daniel Ficina, and he's the founder of Nomad Exiles. Now, not a big LinkedIn account, only a couple of connections and followers, but it's already clear to me that it's not a bot or whatever, right? It's an actual LinkedIn account. And it's surprising that I'm going to say this, but he puts Nomad Exiles in his profile. Now, before you're like, wow, what the hell is that supposed to mean? The amount of GameFi projects I have seen where the founders don't put it in their LinkedIn, just nada, like they're not working on it, is insane. So that's just, of course, a massive red flag, right? People that don't do that for a reason. So he's doxed, he puts it in his LinkedIn. It's clearly not a bot. As far as his experience goes, quite a lot. None of them seem to be like doxed kind of LinkedIn companies, right? They're all not having a LinkedIn page. So we kind of have to believe him on his word in that sense, right? System engineer, freelance Flash developer, chief technology officer, infrastructure architect, and then CEO and founder of Nomad Exiles. So, okay, right? And then he would be from Estonia. So not Russian, right? Like some of you might have thought, or Ukrainian. It is from Estonia. So that is also important to note down. And the rest of the team is also fully doxed. Now, as for the investors and the partners, also very important, right? How is the company staying afloat and who is backing them? That will determine whether it's a tier 1, tier 2, or a tier 3 company in the end, right? For a large part. So we are seeing NGG. I've never heard of them before. And I can say the same for a lot of companies here, right? Gate.io, that is of course just their exchange, so not really a partner. And for the rest, Master Ventures, 316 VC, Blue Wheel, True VC, not really big partners as of right now. Seedify, of course, these are the launch pads that have launched them. So Seedify, big launch pad, so that is a good sign. I've actually known a lot of people that were surprised that Seedify did this project, right? They were like, yeah, but Nomad Exiles, they're not that good. They had a bad TGE. Why did Seedify get involved? Because in the end, it's maybe not that bad of a project. And seeing Seedify involved, they are really good at doing their due diligence. So TGE might have been bad, yeah, sure. But if Seedify says that they're good, if Seedify launched them, then there has to be something behind it, some potential. Now, we've already discussed that there is potential. Apart from a bad TGE, there's still potential. Seeing that backed up by Seedify is good. For the rest, also note down, they've also been launched by some lesser good launchpads overall, right? We see Moonstarter, we see DAO Launch, and we see Communitas. Now, these are smaller races, right? And, just smaller launchpads. We also see GameStarter, which is actually a pretty good launchpad. Playpad, also a good launchpad. I have done reviews on all of them. So if you want to learn more about these launchpads that hosted Nomad Exiles, they're all on the channel, including Seedify. So you can check that out. So yeah, those were all of their launch pads. Oxbull, of course, okay. Infinity pad, Trust pad. So they were launched on a lot of big launch pads, right? True P&L. So that is good to see. Obviously, all of these launch pads probably kind of regret it now because the TGE was horrible, but that's not the point, right? The point is that there is potential in this project, which is why I'm going to be making videos on it on this channel, because we still can make a lot of money with it. And even the people that participated in these launches can still make good money. Just don't sell your tokens right now. You'll sell at a loss. It will come back to the TGE price. It will come back, most likely. Then here we have their advisors. They have a bunch of them. Dmitry Golantsev, Vladimir Nikitin, Yuri Vinagrov. Okay, so they're all Eastern European names, quite hard to pronounce. They're fully doxed, but I don't know any of them. Now, I do have a couple of red flags with the project thus far, right? And it's not going to interfere that much with my price prediction because I think it doesn't matter enough for the price prediction to be altered. I think, the utility is still yet to come. So there's going to be a price pump, right? That's nearly inevitable. But I do have to talk with you guys about a couple of red flags that I do think are very important to discuss. Now, the first one is, where's tokenomics, right? Clearly, they will have their tokenomics, right? Every game has the tokenomics. But why is it hard to find? It's not in the white paper. It's not on their website. So where is it? You know what I mean? That's very bad. If they don't have one, that would be horrible, but clearly they would have one. Every project has tokenomics, but that they make it so hard to find, that's a bit of a madnet to me. Now, if we would really try our best, we could find it somewhere, right? It's not, it's never unfindable. So I'm going to go ahead and look for it right now, but just to point out, kind of mad that it's so hard to find. Tokenomics, got it right here. So we see the team getting 14% of the tokens, which is absolutely fine by me. That's about average. Advisors only getting 1% and influencers also. So very low for that, for the advisors. Combined with the fact that I don't know the advisors, makes me wonder if they're of any high quality or not. In-game mechanics get 60%, as it should, right? Marketing only 1%, quite low. Private sale 13.8, public sale 9.2, liquidity only 0.5, and airdrop only 0.5 either. Both of these two are very low, right? Liquidity at 0.5, really? That is incredibly low. And airdrops usually tend to be around 1%, so that's also quite low. So that is the tokenomics. Vesting, it's not really there. And most annoyingly is that these tokenomics, I had to find them on CryptoRank. They were not really on the website or anything like that, which is not very good. Anyways, now let's look at the community, see how active they are. Again, this is not part of the price prediction. This is more part of the overall review of this game and a little bit of an update to see how active they're being right now. So at the Twitter, we can see that they have 52,000 followers. They are also followed by Communitas. They posted, recently. A couple of new partners have been announced. Okinga, I don't know how to pronounce that. They did some polls, quite some, just updates on development, their partners and everything like that. They have good interaction with their community. So yeah, that looks good. Over here, another partnership announcement, Planks. Again, I don't know all these partners. They're quite small overall. But yeah, this is their Twitter. And they also do have a Medium looking quite swell. They post frequently. This was 2 days ago. This was 9th of August, 3rd of August. They talk about, dungeons in the Nomad Exiles universe basic info. So a lot of these things are for in-game explanations, right? Lands in Nomad Exiles. So from an investment point of view, not that interesting, but they also keep you up to date with certain update things like AMA recaps. I love AMA recaps. I think it's really good when they do that. And they also have some investing related articles, but at least they're active, which is really good to see. So, looking at the chart, a lot of people sometimes make the assumption like, okay, they're inactive, they're not doing anything, but that's really not the case. The team is working. You have this still graph mostly because nothing is really happening right now in terms of launches, but it will soon. So what are my final thoughts? What do I think? about this project overall. Clearly, it's not a AAA crypto game, right? It's not like that. So you got to kind of change your mindset to more of a communitas type of project. Doesn't mean that we can't make a lot of money with it. Had a rough start, didn't have a good TGE, but I don't think that should stop you from being interested in a project. Now, looking at this, there's still untapped potential with a very low market cap and a game that hasn't really yet been released, a marketplace that isn't there. There's no token utility yet, right? The real hype isn't there yet, but it will be there soon. And we can be quite sure of that because the project owners, right, the team is still actively working on it. So there's a good infrastructure, good things are yet to come. So there's a good chance that this token might take off. Or maybe it doesn't. It is speculative. I think it will, personally. So I think if you participated in the raises, it would be a shame to sell them off right now. Token price will likely go higher. And if you want to enter into Nomad Exiles right now, would seem like a good time. I think the releases are going to pump up the price a lot. At any rate, we are going to be reviewing this project multiple times. We're going to come back, give you news flashes regarding it, and see if the price prediction was right. We're going to be there when the game launches and much more. So if you want to stay up to date on Nomad Exiles, click on the bell. I'll make sure that whenever anything important happens, I will be there with a video. All right, so click the bell, subscribe, like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Ciao, ciao.